What's going on, people? Your boy Man Mike coming at you guys with another edition of Friday Night Madness. All right, man. Oh, is it Friday? Yeah, it is Friday. Damn, I forgot what day it was. Oh, it ain't Friday. What the hell day it is?
It's Friday.
It's Friday. Damn, I'm thinking
I'm about to say your ass is tripping already.
Yeah. That's Friday Madness for you, bro. Hey, man.
Yeah,
what's good, everybody, man? I'm your boy, Man Mike, and your guy to my...
You already know.
Right. All right. The guy to my right is...
And it's your boy, Kstlyz, the sixth man. It is what it is. What's happening, people? How we doing on Friday? And I know some of y'all know y'all watching the Hawks game too, so appreciate y'all tuning in with us while we watch the game as well.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man. I already lost it. Damn. I probably lost it looking at John Collins' sorry ass. That's probably why I lost it. Fucking bum. He probably like a sure bum right now. He can't dribble. He can't shoot. He don't want to shoot. He tripping over himself. How do you bro? They brought in a rookie because you ain't doing nothing. All right, but that's that right there is just Hawks. All right, that's just Hawks talk. Right now, this is all about the Braves. Man, I'm tripping today.
Bro, whatever the hell you was drinking, dude, I need some of that right now. Boy, your ass sound like a wino right now.
I don't know, man. I'm all over the damn place right now. I'm thinking about the Braves because your boy broke his fingers. So
talking about Kuna.
Yeah, man. Marcel broke his fingers. I think that's why I'm thinking about him. You got the Hawks all over the damn place right now. They doing their things for the most part. Of course, these damn refs started off with the bullshit. How the hell you start off? You had all week to get the damn. The scoreboard right, and now you start off the game talking about something wrong with the scoreboard. The fans are in it, and you doing that. That's how y'all gonna treat us, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like this it. But we're gonna get to the first one. But I think Kstlyz, you go ahead and shout out some of these people in the chat.
Oh, man. You know, chicken, yeah. But what we're gonna definitely do here, like I said, you know how we do. On every show we do, we must shout out the chat that's in here right now. Like I said, we got Mr. Motivator. He the first one today. Joseph Thornton. What's going on, homie? We got William Amy, Todd Nelson. We got Gustavo Soils. We got Jay Nalipa. We got Raymond Elter in the building. King Quest 710. Brian Peoples. Juan Carter. Dynamite. Blake Days. Ricky Havoc. Yusuke Knight. DJ Damian Simmons. Jamari Williams. Rodney Brown. YMOF Jamal 05. Chris White. Motivated and dedicated Antonio Holloway. Ultra Shadow 97. You already know. So let's go ahead and get to, like I said, before we get to it, just want to ask everybody that's in the chat how y'all doing this evening. Hope everybody had a good day. Go ahead, Mike. What you got for us?
Hey, man. I think we can just kind of get this out of the way real fast, real quick, real. Yeah. Let's get this out of the way, man. The saga continues, and if you guys have not had the chance to check out Terrence Mathis, his thoughts on the trade rumors, and all of the hoopla surrounding Your boy Julio Jones. He pretty much stated today that he believes that everybody's at fault. But in my humble opinion, what I think he doesn't want to say, like I said, I could be wrong, but when it all comes down to it, the Falcons are at fault to a certain degree as far as not being behind him the way Julio Jones wants them to be behind him. And me personally, I think the issue is, as far as a organization standpoint, they can't. I don't think you can, and that's as real as you can. I can possibly get it. I can possibly put it. You can't. As valuable, as great as Julio Jones has been, he's a surefire Hall of Famer. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But when you look at his age, you look at his injuries, you look at last year, I mean, him being out because of a hamstring. I don't know if it was the case that they pretty much kept him out because they just didn't want to risk injury, or Julio Jones didn't want to risk injury. I don't know what the case was, but all we know is Julio didn't play. That's what we do know. He did not play. So if you're in the Falcons, the organization's shoes, what do? He's a 32-year-old receiver. He has 2 years left on his contract. You have Matt Ryan, and we've seen that Drew Brees and these guys can play the 42. And you have a quarterback in Matt Ryan, and you just turned 36, 37. And he has 3 years left on his contract. Somebody has to go. And me personally, I love Julio, but I have a stud. I have a stud in Calvin Ridley. I have a potential stud in Kyle Pitts. And right now, I have Russell Gage and I have Hayden Hurst. So are the Falcons are they wrong in this situation by not saying that, without a shadow of a doubt? I don't know how many times that you can continue to say Julio Jones, Julio Jones, I want Julio Jones, I want Julio Jones, I want Julio Jones. You said it before. They said they want Julio and Matt Ryan to retire Falcons, but I'm not going to take away the GM and the head coach's power to get rid of these guys or decide whether or not these guys. And these guys have pretty much came out to say that they want these guys. But Julio Jones, in my opinion, is one of those guys who want the Falcons to beg. They want to beg him. He needs that reassurance. That's what I'm gearing. That's what I'm getting from Julio. He just wants that reassurance. So, do you think that the Falcons are wrong in this situation?
As far as the hold on, all right, yeah, I think as far as the public relations part of it is not controlling it spreading like wildflower. We have to remember. Oh Lord, don't tell me. Okay, we have to remember. Okay, yeah, appreciate it. But we have to remember when they brought in Arthur Smith and they brought in Terry Fontenot, the first thing he said was, we're going to let these guys evaluate the roster and make the moves based on what direction they want to go to. So it's just one of those situations to where Julio, they probably had a discussion with Julio. They saw his numbers. They seen kind of like his, like I said, his
decline in a bit. Let's just be real. It was decline. Yeah. He had declined to a certain degree.
Right. Yeah, like I said, it's a little bit of a decline. They want to get younger. And I guess what it was Julio was probably upset that they came to him for that that's probably where the trade. Because let's be honest. Like you want to say, be honest. I think the real reason why is he's not feeling this regime as far as what he's used to. That's what like I said, that's what it kind of seems like where it comes all of a sudden. Because we look at last year, even when he was hurt, he was coaching players up. He was doing all these little nuanced leadership things in the locker room. But it was like since you had the new regime come in, like I said, that's not the Smithers and Gilbert and screaming Norman Smiley regime. It can kind of come off like that. Now, what Terrence Mathis said, like everybody's at fault, it is true because it could have been handled a whole lot better than what it was. So they said Julio feels like he doesn't want to win here. That's fine. He has entitlement to get request a trade. But the thing is, they don't want to. They're not going to let him take control, try to control where he wants to trade. Because remember, he does not have a no trade clause, so he's pretty much under the. He pretty much got his. They got his ball. They got his balls. Let's just say that. So that's why we say you handle it better because it's a situation to where they can basically give you what you want as a franchise player and as a guy that's been great for this team, pretty much the greatest receiver this franchise has ever had. You don't want to sour that relationship. And like I said, they have it at a point now where, like, even with the reports talking about New England wants him with a first-round picker right now, there's not a guarantee that they'll be willing to take that. They could be petty. They say, "No, we're not going to send you to Cam Newton. We're going to put a bug in the rest of the league and see who else wants it."
Man, I honestly, and we actually have a guest that's going to come on in a few, but when it all comes down to it, it comes down to this, is that it comes a time in every big-time player's career where they have a hard time realizing they're not as important as they think they are. This league is changing. Let's be real. This league is changing. No longer are receivers as important. They don't hold as much, as they once did. Julio Jones he's not that guy that we can win games with single-handed because we have Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. That combination is not as potent without a defense. So if you don't have a defense, what good is a Julio Jones? What good is a Julio Jones and Matt Ryan? That's not the case anymore. The Falcons can no longer win games with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. So in the Falcons case, I think this is it's the right thing to do. I'm typically one of those guys that say, I'm always on the player side of the game, but when it comes down to it, the Falcons haven't won any games with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones in the last couple of years. They haven't done a damn thing with this offense. They can't win games with Matt Ryan and Julio in offense. They can't win games with just offense anymore. So what good is a Julio Jones? How much power is a Julio Jones? How good, like seriously, what's the importance for Julio Jones as far as percentage is concerned? And I'm going to say this. At this point, I think it's maybe 30, 40, 50%. I know it's under 50% as his importance to this team because we can't win games with Julio Jones anymore. We don't win games with Julio Jones scoring points. We don't win games. We've seen games where Julio had almost 200 yards receiving, and we still end up losing the game. So the importance of Julio Jones just isn't there. We don't score points with Julio on the field. Yeah, he'll have 200 yards receiving. He'll have 10 receptions with 200 yards, but we don't get in the end zone. So what good is it? And I know that hurt a lot of people's feelings. And like I said, his importance to this team is no longer as high anymore. This is not 2016 where we can wreak havoc with just Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. So I think the Falcons are just they want to win games. And the only way you can win games is having a complete team.
All right, let's get a couple more shout outs in here. Like I said, we got the little homie over here, ATM 3405. What's going on with y'all? We got the AFN Goon veteran here, Mr. Devon Stanford. Y'all better be on y'all best behavior today, because you know it's Friday Night Madness. Anything could damn happen. We got King 55332 and Malik Holmes, the real. So you want to go ahead and bring it, the real. So
let me turn the camera on. Turn the camera on, bro. The people want to see you.
The people have chosen.
Man, I ain't nobody to look at, man. What you talking about? Ain't nobody to look at, man.
We have BF Baller. Jump shot on deck.
What's going on? How y'all doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Nothing, just sitting here, man. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate y'all adding me to the family, man. I really appreciate that. Y'all guys are awesome. And we can talk about this Julio thing. We can talk about a little bit of Dean Pease, and we just get right into it. So y'all let me know what's up.
That's gonna be the next topic right there. But before we do, I say get a little couple minutes. See what you feel about the Julio thing. Just a couple minutes. We want to really get to this thing.
I ain't gonna drag it out. I ain't gonna drag it out that long. And my thing is, like I said last time I was on, I didn't feel Julio wanted to be a part of the team anyway, because it was just something about it. The way I saw his body language and him like taking himself out the game and stuff for the past 2 years. Like it was times we was in the middle of a drive, and the drive basically, he just took himself out the game, and I was like, well, what's up with that? So I kind of read between the lines and all of that. So I never really thought that he was going to be long term, and in general, even though that he signed a contract. So now that I see that what's going on with this, I'm not really surprised with the new regime and all this other stuff. So I'm really not surprised, and I think everything's going to be okay when it comes to us getting us maybe a second, third round, hopefully a first. If we do, that'd be great. But we'll see how that plays out.
Okay, so you just basically feel like he just kind of checked out.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I felt like he checked out for at least the last. Don't mind my son. My son's right there. I feel like he's checked out for the past maybe 12, maybe 14 months. I kind of just been feeling this vibe with the way that he's been with the team for at least a year. So to me, it's nothing.
How he pretty much excluded himself. This is where I lost respect for Julio, and the fact that he took himself away from the fans.
Right.
Social media is for your fans. All right. Let's be real. Social media is where the fans can connect to you, get to know you, get to love you. He took all that away from his fans. It's like you take yourself away from the people, and it's just you and your rich friends. Let's just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. It's just him. Julio is in a world where it's just him and his rich buddies. He don't understand. He don't want to understand what the average fan goes through, because let's be real. And this may sound kind of crazy, me saying this. We made Julio a household name. We made Julio a household. Why do I say this? Because fans got behind this guy. Even when the Falcons were losing, we came to see Julio. We made sure that ESPN knew who the hell Julio Jones was. We put him. We're talking about the Pro Bowl and all that type of stuff. We bought his jerseys. Anytime anybody said anything about Julio on social media, got on our channels, and we went to bat for him. And how he repay the fans? He takes he deletes all his Falcon stuff, and he leaves his account private. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Those people that love you, bro.
And this is another thing.
You most can't talk to you. The people who love you most can't talk to you. Period, bro.
And see, and this is the thing. We as fans should not make you a household name. You should be able to make yourself a household name to us by the way that you react, not only on the field but off the field with the people that want to associate with the team. And he didn't do that, and that's the thing that really bothered me.
All right, we're gonna get off the Julio top, but the last thing I'm gonna say is he told everybody, "Bitch, that way." That's what he did.
Oh, let me say this too. One more thing, as far as like, I know people are like, "Oh, you speaking nonsense." Let me tell you something. The reason why I say we made Julio a household name, why am I saying this? Because the Falcons got no respect for years. Everybody, we're talking about Roddy White. Nobody knew who Roddy White was. Roddy White was putting up big time numbers. Roddy White was putting up big time Pro Bowl numbers. Nobody cared about Roddy White. We made sure that we voted for him and got him in the Pro Bowl. We made sure that our players voted. We came out. We had campaigns. The Falcons have campaigns. You forget about that, people? Falcons have campaigns where we cheer, where we make sure that we go and vote for these guys. We have campaigns for the guy. This guy, of course, he's one of the greatest of all time, and he made his bones on the field. But guess what? When it all comes down to it, a lot of people do. Nobody in the league. We're talking about nobody in the league, right? Nobody in the league knows the Atlanta Falcons when it comes down to, just respect.
All right.
Respect and as far as the media and whatnot, because we already know how our media is. Our media don't give anybody respect. You can have 200 yards receiving, but did you win the game? You know what I'm saying? Did you win the game? Did you do this? Did you do that? That's one of the major things when it comes down to it. It's like right now, Falcons fans mean nothing to Julio. That mean nothing to him.
Right. And that's the thing I was saying is like, he checked out not only on the team but like with the fans. It's like at this point, I mean, I kind of felt it about a week or so ago, but I'm like at this point, we get what we can get, and we got 53 other people that's gonna play.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
We're not gonna stay much on, but like I said, man, I always say this, and I'm gonna continue to say this. Sorry, Kstlyz, but when it all comes down to it, I don't think fans get enough credit for what they do and make sure that guys like LeBron James is one of the most popular athletes in the world, not because he put up these incredible numbers. It's because of fans make sure everywhere you go that LeBron James is the center of attention. They cheer for LeBron. They cheer for Julio. They cheer for guys like Russell. Even when they're not winning, they make sure that that's their guy. And that's what Falcons fans do for Julio Jones. We make sure that everybody know when they come to Atlanta, who is that guy? The Migos. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I mean, you got guys like T.I. putting, these guys in putting goddamn Mike Vick in their videos. The Migos put Julio Jones in one of their videos. In their videos. The fans make Julio who he is. Julio makes himself known as a football player. But when it comes down to popularity, fans make you who you are. And he forgot that.
Okay. But
I just wanted to clarify that.
Hey, I was about to say, let's go on and hit this next topic here. Like I said, we want the Julio, but we can't put too much energy into him no more because, hey, we got 90 other guys that trying to make this roster that want to be here. So, like I said, shouts out to Tavon Walker, Make You Fumble, Sean Jones, Twisted Torch TV in the building, Kenneth Lewis. Appreciate y'all joining us, but let's get to this next topic. This is the topic we really want to talk about today. Excuse me. Hey, yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button and make sure y'all share this so you can help us get this algorithm game on point today. Let's talk about DPs and what he been saying.
Who's going first? Waiting for somebody to say something.
I thought, Mike sitting here doing it. I'm thinking he about to come with some heat already.
I'm just getting excited. Okay. That's all.
But hey, I'm about to say, hey, VF, we're gonna let you go ahead and kick this one off right here. What you got for us?
No, I made a video about this the other day. You know, it's talking about the DP's defense as far as the multiple formations or the multiple assignments that a lot of people are going to have. So that's what kind of got me interested in what they're going to do, because a guy like Deion Jones or Olakun, those are guys are like pretty much just straight athletes, and I know they're able to do a lot of things. You know, not only that they can cover, they can tackle, they can get after the quarterback. So those two guys, I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to do. I know Kaminsky was another one. They was talking about that he's he's an athlete as well, but I didn't see much of it, so I don't know how that's going to play out. But he's another guy that I'm interested to see how he's going to be implemented. AJ Terrell, definitely. I want to see what he does, because a lot of people don't know that not only that he was able to, you know, break up some passes, he forced some fumbles. So that's really significant for a cornerback. You don't hear about that a lot. You rarely hear about cornerbacks trying to tackle, let alone forcing fumbles. So that's going to be interesting. Then you got Richie Grant that's going to be there. Fabian, we talked about him a little bit. And then we haven't even talked about the guys that's going to be on the defensive line. So it's really interesting to see how that's going to play out as far as the scheme that they're going to put in, because one thing I can say overall, even, you know, outside of Richie Grant and a couple of other guys that they picked up on defense, one thing I will say about Dan Quinn, for the most part, he did get a lot of guys that were actually really, really athletic, and they were able to do a lot of things. He was just not really good at putting it together. So it's going to be interesting to see how DPs are going to change that up and see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm. We can't hear you, big dog. We can't hear you, big dog. Can't hear you, big dog.
Hey, the big dog made a boo-boo right there. But Wakando King with the $4.99 super chat.
I like the fact that he said, go ahead.
Like I said, he liked the fact that Grady was going to line up everywhere on the defensive line.
I kind of go. I'll go with this. One of the things that I said was wrong with the Falcons' defense is it wasn't the lack of talent. And I said these to them last night, and I'm gonna say this to you guys also. The Falcons have no issues when it comes down to talent up front. I think that's the biggest misconception that a lot of teams, because you can't tell me that looking at that damn Saints line outside of Cam Jordan, that they have a loaded front. Like that damn Marcus Davenport, the most overrated, overhyped defensive end since goddamn Jamal Anderson. That dude is not very good, okay? I'm just here to tell you, he eats off of Cam. You cannot tell me that Saints, looking at that Saints lineup, some Hendricks, they don't do anything spectacularly well. They don't do anything well. They have a team that had tremendous chemistry, and they take a lot of chances, and they're very aggressive up front. So it makes the defensive line much better than what they actually are. All right, the Falcons are the exact same thing. Cam Jordan, as much as many as he gets sacks, he's not Grady Jarrett. He's not Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is an absolute freak of nature up front. This dude can move anywhere. He can play inside, outside, and he can bend that corner. I did a video on Grady Jarrett. The dude bent the edge on the damn tackle. He bent the edge on the tackle. Hand play, and he got the speed to get around tackles. Cam Jordan ain't that. So I don't want to hear the fact that the Falcons don't have talent up front. One, we make up to Tui Marion did last year. When he got the time, the dude got off the edge quite well, and he had 2-3 sacks late in the series and late during the season. Two, you got John Kaminsky, did very well as a 3-tech, and he played both ends. And you got Marlon Davidson. We still don't know what Marlon Davidson is at this point. He has talent. All right, right there. That's 4 people. That those guys, they have talent, and you these guys in the right position to scheme the guys open and blitz, we know what 4-year-old Olakun and Deion Jones can do when they blitzing. We saw that last year. Those guys are monsters coming off their edge and coming in those A and B gaps. Those guys are absolute monsters. So when you put that all together and you have a Dean Pease who likes to send guys from different angles and you don't know what these guys, and I just did a breakdown on one particular thing that he likes to do is zone blitz, where he blitzes someone and he'll drop a defensive tackle into a zone and then take away a passing lane, and that leads to interceptions and turnovers. Those are we're talking about creativity. You create pressure with not only scheme, but great coverage. We don't talk about the good coverage that the Saints have with their safeties. They have very good safeties about, just doing the small things well. We didn't have that. As much as I love Keanu Neal, the dude was fucking trash in coverage. He was fucking trash. All right, just fucking trash. And Mr. Old Man, I'm talking about Mr. Rico Allen, looked like he aged damn 50 years in 1 year. Yeah, the Falcons' safety were not very good. So that added to the lack of pass rush. Because if you know as an offense that their safety and you can't cover our guys, and we know exactly what you're going to do on defense, you know that they're going to be in the cover three, you don't have to worry about instant pressure. Why? Because you already know what's going on. All the Falcons, all they would do, if you look at the film, all teams would do is throw directly in the middle, run these pick plays to go at the end, and they'll either catch a slant or they catch the seam route and they'll just attack the middle of the whole game. That's the game plan.
First of all, I got a friend of mine. Well, I say friend. I've known him for a while. MD20 is in the chat. Appreciate Hugh shouting me out. Haven't seen him in a while. Good, yeah. I'm here. He's known me from my old days on the old YouTube channel, so it's good to see him over here. But a lot of people don't realize that pass rush is not necessarily guys just putting pressure on the quarterback. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Have you ever heard a thing called coverage sacks? And like we said, that's another thing. If you can get guys that can constantly just move offensive linemen, that's not necessarily getting to the quarterback. Just if you can move offensive linemen and you got good coverage, you will get a good bit of coverage sacks, and that actually helps in the long run because now not only that the quarterback has to worry about the coverage, he's got to worry about what's around him because not all defensive linemen can just get right at the quarterback. You don't have like a John Abraham or any other guys who could just get straight to the quarterback like that. Those are like guys that are they're almost like unicorns. So you have to have guys who can cover. Like you said, I love the Keanu Neal. He can tackle. He gives some hard hits, but as far as coverage, I mean, he's nowhere to be found. And same thing, like I said, Ricardo Allen, he had his issues as well. We really didn't have good safety coverage since Willie Moe left. Mo did a pretty good job covering. He did a little bit of everything. So it kind of fell off from there. So hopefully, Richie Grant can kind of be that guy that can do a little bit of both. So we'll see how that plays out. That's all I have to say on that one. Because we just didn't have the cover corners like that.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna say? You can't get no worse than we did last year. So that's the floor right there. But listening to these interviews and how these defensive players just kind of soaking this system up, you can tell they feel like they're about to have some fun here. Like I said, it's allowing the athletes to be the athletes without thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I love Keanu Neal, but he was better suited at linebacker. I don't know why they decided to do that shit now in Dallas, but he was better suited as a linebacker. But
he's gonna wait till he leave to go to Dallas to figure out that he need to be a linebacker. Like, bro, all this time you had 3 years to get it together, and you decide when you leave to turn him into a linebacker. Like, bro, come on.
Right. Because if this was 2000, wait, hold on. Let's hit this before I finish my topic up.
Matty
We got a 20 spot from Matty Ghost. He said Dean Pease is a beast. I hope RD can evolve like the blitzkrieg defense of the 70s when we were number one in the league. It ain't even got to be number one in the league, bro. They just got to be better than last year. They just got to be better than last year.
It was all about creativity. We lacked creativity. That's all it was. We did not. Why do you think a guy, Dean Pease, he's been with? Let me say this, and I think this is, you cannot understate this. The guy went to the Patriots, and he took over. He took over Bill Belichick's defense. He was the guy who was calling that defense. It wasn't Bill Belichick. Dean Pease was calling that defense. And that should tell you the respect that like a guy like Bill Belichick has for Dean Pease. All right. He knows defense. He knows how to get the best out of his players. And those guys didn't have a lot of athletes. He didn't have a whole lot of athletes with the Patriots. He didn't have a whole lot of Patriots when he went to even when he went to Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens, they had a lot of injury issues. They had a couple of guys slugged, but for the most part, they were dealing with a lot of issues even when they was there. But like even then, he taught those guys, and like this comes from that Buddy Ryan, Rex Ryan style of defense. He's a disciple on them when it comes down to that scheme, and I know a lot of people still don't understand that. When you run the exact same scheme, you don't have to work under a guy to be a disciple. What a disciple pretty much means is that, you pretty much follow that guy's his scheme and how he attacks defense. When you look at Dean Pease and you look at Rex Ryan, they do a lot of similar things. Everything is pretty much exactly the same. That Baltimore Ravens team, there was a 3-4, there was a 4-3, there was a 4-6, there was a 4-4. It was everything that 2000 Baltimore Raven defense. They were everything. And that's exactly what Dean Pease is. He is everything. You never want to show your hand. And that's what the Falcons did wrong for the last 3 years. Everybody knew that we was going to be in a cover 3. We know it. It doesn't matter if they show blitz, they knew the Falcons was going to go out of it and they're going to still have the same thing. It's still going to be the same play. So creativity is where it's at. So the answer, Matty goes his question as far as like the blitzkrieg. I think we're getting back to our roots, and that's I don't mean to bring up Julio Jones again, but at his stage of his career, he's into numbers. He's not into winning. All right, I'm just gonna be real about it. He's into numbers. He wants to become the greatest of all time, so he's going to go to a system that better suits his wants and his needs. This Falcons team is not going to be one of those exciting teams where we're going to throw the ball 50 times a game. This is going to be a well-balanced team. We're going to get back to running the ball, and we're going to play solid defense. We're going to be aggressive. That right there isn't conducive to make Julio Jones to continue to make him the center of attention. And it really is just that simple for me.
Yeah, because I could definitely see a multiple front defense here because that's the main thing they were talking about. Like, it's pretty well. That's what Fourier was talking about. Because Fourier talking about, he said he's finna earn. He's working to earn some respect this year. You got respect from us, but like I said, it's gonna be a multiple front defense. You're gonna see some 3-4. You're gonna see 4-3. You're gonna see 46. You're gonna see some 2-4-5. You're gonna see some proud defense. It's basically just gonna be depending on how they want to exploit what they want to do. At the end of the day, their main objective is they coming for your ass, and that's the mentality that we needed.
Can I add one more thing? Can I add one more thing real quick? One of the things that we're talking about, I don't think this gets enough attention, is that having an offense where you have 7, you got like 2-3 good wide receivers. You got Julio Jones. You got now that you have a Calvin Ridley, and then you got Russell Gage. Those are 3 wide receivers that when they are going well, like you're going to have to pay these guys based on their numbers. So based on their numbers, you're going to have to give them X amount of dollars. You're not going to be able to, pay 3 great wide receivers. And being in the offense with Dean Pease, his offense is more tailored to tight ends, getting tight ends the ball. And tight ends, as we know, they don't get paid as much as wide receivers do. So going forward, they're going to save money on the offensive side of the ball, paying tight ends versus paying wide receivers. And that right there is going to allow them to put more assets and put more money on the defensive side of the ball in the trenches. That's where you're going to win.
Okay. Let's get to this $10 spot from Matty Ghost again. Appreciate you, homie. He said, I'm more concerned with our offense this year. Am I crazy? But I think our defense going to beast out some. Like Mike said, you don't have to be concerned with the offense. The offense just not going to be it's not going to fit the mold of what the NFL wants most of their teams to do this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to be basically a balanced offense. Like I said, we got 4 words that we use on AFN that we say all the time. Run damn ball.
Damn ball. We saw it in the Super Bowl last year.
We seen it the last 2 years.
Run the damn ball. That's why they lost. Let's be real. They lost because they didn't want to run the ball. And all they want to do is throw it. So we're getting out of that era. Again, we're going back to old school football. You gotta have balance in this league.
People don't realize how important running the ball is. Even when the offensive coordinator, fake coach that we don't want to talk about, went to San Francisco, and they almost beat the Chiefs. You know what lost them? They did the same damn thing they did when they was here. They was running the ball. They were averaging almost 7 yards a carry, and they stopped running the ball.
Bam!
And you wonder why that 2nd and 5. After you ran the ball and got 5 yards, you try to throw on 2nd and 3rd down. Why would you do that? And all you did was give Pat Mahomes the ball right back, and then they end up scoring back-to-back in 5 minutes. And you wonder how that happened. But that's what I'm saying. Like we said, if we can run the ball, and this multiple defense thing is so important because what you see on offense around the league. You see multiple offenses around the league. Everybody's not running an I formation or a spread. Like that went out the window when you had what's his name? RG3 trying to run the pistol. Everybody tried to do it, and it got too predictable. And then that's when people started to try to run other formations out of those type of variations. So you would want a defense that can counter all of that. And that's why I like the fact that Dean Pease is here, because you got athletes already here. That's the only thing I will give like I said, I'll give Dan Quinn credit for. He drafted guys that are athletes. I will give him that. But now we got the people in place that can actually utilize those athletes, because that's the one thing that, Dan Quinn did a terrible job of. Remember, he didn't want to use, he ended up relinquishing the defensive coordinator position because he was the defensive coordinator and coach at one time. He had to get rid of that. Other people came in. I think it was Albridge or who else that came in that actually had the defense doing a little bit better when the season got on. It just did not work out, but we got the players in place, and now we got the personnel. So I think the defense is going to be much better than we're talking about. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. Like you said, the defense. Remember, this defense was the 5th worst pass defense in NFL history.
Too predictable.
Yeah,
way too predictable. Like you said, we run it cover 3 all the time. It worked for a year, maybe a year and a half, and I'll just say it worked for probably maybe 2 years. Because really, when we went to the Super Bowl that year, the offense was just lights out. So I really can't say it was defense. But, people caught on that to cover 3 really quick. So you got to be multiple. You got all these 5 wide receivers on first down now. You got, running the ball on third when offenses are mixing it up. We got to have people in place that can counter all of that. And I really believe Dean Pease can make it happen.
Chess, not checkers.
Exactly.
Chess, not checkers. But
all right.
But so out of this DNP offense, like I said, this is a question that I have for both of y'all and people in the chat. So if you're looking at what they're trying to establish here, who do you think is going to really show their asses this year on that defense?
Oh, no question. I think Olakun. I also got faith in. I think Deion Jones is. We haven't talked about him a lot. I think he really going to be.
Hey, I think he's going to be able. You stole it right out of my mouth.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it because we just had the interview with Olakun, but I think Deion Jones is really going to be that guy. Him and maybe AJ Terrell, a quick second between. That's going to be like 2A and 2B with him and Olakun, but I really think Deion Jones, he's going to be something serious.
That man is a toy. Like the reason why I picked that play, if you guys go check out on AFN, it was a zone blitz play where he had, a lot of teams like to motion out their running backs and then bring them back in, and either they send the blitz or they'll drop the linebacker in coverage. If you know anything about Deion Jones, like for a fact that you don't know what he's going to do. That plays into his hand. You don't know if he's going to jump a route. You don't know if he's going to come from a blitz. You don't know anything, or he's going to jump back and play, a third. Like, we don't know anything. That right there plays right into his hand. And what you need from a defense is a guy like a Deion Jones and a guy like Isaiah Oliver, because even Isaiah Oliver, you don't know what Isaiah Oliver is going to be in his offense. You don't on his defense. You don't know if he's going to come from a blitz, because he's a very good tackler. He's physical. He likes to hit. Like AJ Terrell, those guys love to hit. So you have guys that are wild cards that you can use at any given time, and you can send them on the blitz, or you can send them out. You can fake the blitz and then send Deion Jones or Isaiah Oliver back out to cover a guy in a zone. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that you can do with those two guys. And that's why I say when you have a guy like a Dean Pease who like to put these players all and use them in all different types, in all phases, that is important. So I think Deion, if it wasn't for Deion, I would definitely say Isaiah Oliver, because Isaiah Oliver has so many great tools on the defensive side of it.
Okay.
Real quick. Remember that interception that Deion Jones had on Drew Brees? Ask Drew Brees how much of a toy he is. and you know how that play played out, right? They basically was in panic mode where they actually was able to do a playoff instinct. There was no we're running this play. They played off instinct, and that was a beautiful interception by Deion Jones in the end zone. I know everybody remember. I think they wore the color rush jerseys that game.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful interception. Drew Brees did not see it coming, and that's the type of stuff. That's the type of stuff I want to see, and I think we'll see that when you have like a multiple style defense where people can play off that athleticism and instincts. I didn't mean to cut you off, KSTYLZ. I'm sorry. That just came in my mind when I was thinking about it.
Hey, you good, man? You good? We got to hit a couple of these super chats we got here from Mr. Fred.
Hey, man, they coming in.
$5 super chat. Said Dean Pease has never been fired in his career and has 2 rings. That tells you how great this man is.
Two rings. Two. That's 2. So he knows exactly what he does.
And if you look at the teams that he got those rings with, like you said, it was multiple defensive fronts. But the main thing he emphasized was the defense and defensive interior.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at those 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and like I said, my wild card. Hold on, let me get this 20 spot right quick. Matty Ghost came with another 20 spot. He said wild card is how offensive line does. We got a ton of old linemen for competition. I want angry old linemen flipping bodies in the air. Come on, Jake Matthews, stop bankhead bouncing on pass protection. Hey, Hey, you see what they? Hey, you see how this draft class look. You see the type of players that they drafted, guys that have a mean streak. They drafted guys that are hungry. They drafted guys that were not considered the best of their position when they first got into college.
Mm-hmm. They had to work for it. They had to work for it. Mayfield is one of those guys that had to work. Like,
am I back on? Am I back on? Then stream y'all tripping on me again. I told you what happened.
Nah, you good. You good. You good, man.
Yeah, it definitely gonna be all right though. I think the guy that will benefit, and I think the guy that will benefit this defense is we're not even talking about this name, and we signed him in free agency this year. That's Brandon Copeland.
Yeah, he's a very he's a smart, intelligent player.
Right.
He's one of those guys like Mike Peterson. Like Mike Peterson, like towards the end of his career, he was just a smart. He wasn't, making plays off of his athleticism. He was making plays just off of his sheer, just his IQ, his awareness. That right there is what Copeland is. He's a very smart, and like, if you guys remember, that's something that DNP said, that him and Fourier was kind of competing against each other, like who was the smartest and whatnot. Like that's the type of defensive players that he has on his team. So like you got intelligent linebackers, you have intelligent players right now. And I think that's going to bode well for this Falcon team. You got to be able to make the right plays at the right time, and like in crunch time, especially third down. You got to understand what teams and offenses are doing, and from a defensive standpoint, especially in this league, if you don't understand what the offenses are doing for you, they'll eat you up as a linebacker. So I think Copeland is definitely one of those guys you got to watch out for.
Right, because you have to remember, looking at last year, Brandon Copeland as a spot in linebacker had more sacks than everybody on our team.
That's crazy. As a spotlight, that's crazy. So that he's good at what he does.
Right. So I think definitely you need he'd definitely be a good running mate for Deion Jones.
I'm sorry. I see. It's Friday Night Madness. Hey, look, people. Let's stop. Okay, stop it. I've said this before. Like, please stop with the Jake Matthews hate. What has this man ever done? All right, for y'all to hate him. He's one of the most consistent. Look at the numbers. Stop looking at whatever y'all looking at, because it's not true. Get over 28-3. He made one mistake in the Super Bowl, and y'all think he fucking sucks. He doesn't suck. He's one of the most consistent offensive linemen in the league. He didn't get $60 million for being sorry. He's consistent. The Falcons' O-line in its entirety are inconsistent. Okay? But you look at Matthews, you look at his penalties, you look at his holding, the game that he started, he does well in the running game, and that's what he came into the league. You go back to Oakland, like that's what he does. He's a physical specimen. That's what he does well. He's a physical offensive lineman. And KSTYLZ always say this: linemen don't want to go backwards. They want to put their big ass body on you and smush you. We seen it with the damn Julio Jones screen. He smashed that damn boy. That's what he want to do. That's what offensive linemen want to do. They want to smash you. And that's why we got frustrated with former friend, because all he wanted to do is damn throw the ball instead of using these guys the proper way.
Yeah, always think about it like this. His first couple years in the league, like you said, he was getting those penalties and stuff like that. That man called.
Oh, they hating on KSTYLZ. They can't. Hey, by the way, the Atlanta Hawks are up 81-68. and end of the third quarter coming. So that's an update for all you Hawks fans. Sorry about them Knicks. Sorry about that Knicks. We're whipping that ass right about now. Go ahead, hit that thing, KSTYLZ.
Yeah. Before I was so rudely interrupted by StreamYard and this internet connection killing me right now. Damn it, I forgot.
My bad. My son was going downstairs. I had to catch him real quick. I let him go downstairs. He wanted to be with his mama. What's this? 81 to 68. What that? Damn, these Hawks.
Yeah.
Let me go. Let me cut this on over here, man. Let me go cut this on.
Well, make that 83-68.
Yeah. Because I had it on and I dropped it off. 68 to 80. Damn. Okay.
Hey, that man that they said was too small, he's too little, he's not athletic enough. They sure having trouble with him.
Let me tell you something.
He's known as one of the best defensive minds in the league. Okay, so take that in perspective.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give you an honest moment. I did not like the pick of Trey Young. I did not like it. And now I'm not a big Hawks fan because I grew up as a Bulls fan, but I did not like the pick, and he shut me the hell up. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, he shut me up because because when I watched him in college, man, I didn't like his game in college, but bro, he shut me the hell up. I can't even lie. This kid is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see it coming. I don't know how many other people have. I did not see this type of player coming.
I saw it the whole time.
Man, I just saw a kid that was throwing up 3-pointers. That's I was like, what? and I wasn't really big on Luka. I wasn't big on Luka because I didn't know nothing about him at all. But I knew a lot about Trae because Trae did have range. He could shoot. But what I saw in college was that's all I saw him do. I didn't see this. And I'm happy
to on ESPN. ESPN, that's all they show. They show all his 3-point shot. But when you look at his game in its entirety, that dude is a phenomenal passer, and he gets team like that team that that team was absolutely garbage, man. I'm sorry to say it, but that team he had, those guys were very good. And he pretty much, that dude is just a playmaker. He makes plays for his teammate, and he's one of the best passers that I've seen in recent history.
Yeah, because my thing was I was because when we was living in Atlanta, I took my wife to a Hawks game, and I think it was the Hawks playing the Bulls because like I said, I was a Bulls. I'm still a Bulls fan, and she fell in love with the Hawks. Now this is a time when Jeff Teague and all them with them back then, and I mean she just fell in love with them, and she's loving the team now. She's a big Trey Young fan, but I was like I said, when they drafted him, I was like, what? And not when they drafted, when they traded for him, I was like, what? No, he shut me up. I can't say nothing bad about the brother. I can't say nothing. I'm serious. I wasn't a hater. I just didn't see this. No, I didn't like the pick at all. And I did not see this. I mean, dude is putting up numbers that LeBron and them is putting up, and I don't care what nobody say. It's true. Dude's putting up like 37 and like 5. Like in this way, he's only 22. Come on, 22. Man. Come on, man.
He's gonna get better.
Yeah, just gonna get better. You know, so I ain't knew we was gonna get in the basketball. But when y'all put that score up, I was like, wait a minute, I had to see that.
Hey man, we a man of the people. That's we just for the people, keep the people involved.
Right.
Yeah, but let's get to the next case time.
All right, so this is gonna be kind of a lighthearted topic that we got right here, and this is gonna be a shout out to Darquez Denard. I don't know if a lot of people heard about it, but he's opening up a youth center in Macon, Georgia.
Okay.
I think, like I said, I know this not gonna be as far as season topic like a lot of people want to talk about, but we also want to kind of give shout outs to people that doing well in the community. And not only is this gonna be just a youth center for the youth, but it's gonna be college prep courses, football drills, and basically he's doing what Umar Johnson's goofy ass ain't doing right now. But he's actually doing something in the community, and it's gonna be here to benefit the youth. And like I said, we want to kind of give him his roses on this because
absolutely
this stuff right here is not only how you build a fan base, but it's going, like I said, you're going to encourage kids.
Give kids a chance. You give kids a chance to just be loved and feel love, man. That's what it's all about.
They don't realize how much that will. You have 5, 6, 4-year-olds who are experiencing this. These are people that could possibly become Falcons fans for life. You see what I'm saying? Because you changed their life. And let's see how this comes full circle. We just talked about another player who we had to make a household name. This man is making himself a household name by actually doing something in the community, unlike that other player we talked about who didn't do that. You see the difference? I think he was, so
what you talking about? You talking about Mr. Bitch that way? You talking about him?
I'm up out of here. You out of here, all right. But no, that's a good thing, man. Opening a youth center and making, like I said, I've traveled through that plenty of times. Got a couple people that I know down there. If their kids, if they're going to be involved in it, so that'd be great. Because, like I said, that type of stuff that create Falcon fans for life. Because you don't know what impact you may put on a child just by opening a youth center. Those youth centers, that could be the difference between somebody standing on the street doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, or spending time in the youth center learning something life changing. You know what I'm saying? Whole life could be changed because they're not exposed to what might be out there on the block, compared to doing something constructive in the community, in a youth center. So you just never know, man. That's the type of stuff that we are. That's the type of stuff that we would like to see. Vanta Mina says, "Dang, I thought Julio put on for the city. Yeah, with the Migos. He represent. Okay, he's representing. He's putting on. Yeah, he represent.
Right. So basically, what it says, the center, what it's going to do is, I got it right here. It says it's going to do after-school tutoring, college prep services, and mentoring programs.
That right there is exactly what they needed.
That's how you make a household name for yourself. Because not only that, it's on the field, it's off the field as well. You look at guys like Warrick Dunn. Warrick Dunn is a big name in Tampa, but you just don't know how much impact he had in Atlanta. A current football player that's in the NFL right now was directly affected by what he did. Deshaun Watson. There may not be a Deshaun Watson without Warrick Dunn. That's the type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff that impacts,
Exactly. So, like you said, this is just one of those cases where you definitely have to appreciate. These are the kind of guys you have to appreciate in this community.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of people don't know. I mean, people that's from Macon, they may say it, but they're Macon is not all peaches and cream down there. They need the help. It's a rather small town, but they have their hoods and they have the little, the ghettos or whatever. But all places have it, but not many people talk about Macon like that. It's much needed.
Right. So anybody that's in the Macon area, they got kids or something, like you said, they doing touring on the Friday. So basically, the address is going to be 2465 Hillcrest Avenue in Macon. So if you got kids down there and they doing touring here, just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, please do. Even if you don't have kids, everybody knows somebody who have kids,
Right.
Who don't? It's like, if you can find 3 people that that don't have kids, I mean, hey, you're I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, that's rare.
Exactly.
Everybody got kids.
Man, these Hawks is killing these motherfuckers right
now. That's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to maintain. I'm like, Dang, Capella with a block. I might be a little bit behind y'all because I'm watching it on the app on my computer. So if you watch on TV, you probably ahead of me.
Nah, you good though. But you got anything
Jesus.
else you want to talk about? We just gonna freestyle it here.
I want to talk about something. Let's actually talk about the wide receivers without number 11. How do you think these guys are going to prosper? You know, you got Ridley, you got Zacchaeus, you got Russell Gage. How do you think those guys are going to be implemented? With the absence of who, like we signed another receiver, Juwan Green, I think it's Green. Then we signed him as well for a 1-year deal. How do you think that's going to help with the passing game with Matt Ryan? Do you think he'll be able to spread the love, or how do you think that's going to?
Don't care about the passing game. It's not about the passing game. It's all about the big downs. We always preach the small, intricate details of football. One thing that plagued the Falcons, we always had great receivers. There's never been a time in this Falcons history where we never had good wide receivers. So I don't worry about receivers here. We are receiver central. That's what we do well. We draft great receivers, all going back before I was even born. We've always had great receivers. Billy White, Shoe Johnson, like that's what we do is receivers. So I don't worry about the receivers. What I worry about is those tough yards, getting those slants on third down, getting that key block, that spring Julio Jones, another 30, 40 yards, Mohamed Sanu getting that block against the Packers that spring him wide open, that catch that Roddy White had going deep and he went up for the ball and he came down with it. Like those are the things that I worry about for the Falcons, like our receivers. Like that's what Russell Gage do. He's scared the living hell out of everybody every time he jump and go up for a ball. Calvin Ridley is Calvin Ridley. You know what I'm saying? Calvin Ridley is a baller in itself. And you have Hayden Hurst, who doesn't get a lot of respect. Hayden Hurst is just a phenomenal talent himself when he gets targets. When he's targeted, he's a very good tight end. And now you have a freak of nature in Kyle Pitts. Like he's 6'6", 240, 250 pounds. See him line
them pitches, man, them pitches.
Bro, like it ain't nothing you can do. You just look at him lined up against Richard Grant, bro. It's like, damn, he's bigger than I thought he was.
Right.
That dude is a problem. That dude is a problem. So I'm not worried about our receivers. I'm worried about can these dudes block. That's what I'm more focused on.
People in the chat, they talk about Frank Darby and Tajay Shop. I made a video about it. I forgot about both of them. Like I don't think we have a receiver that's a caliber of Julio, but I think we have enough weapons. But like you said, that not only that you catch the ball, run after catch, but that is one thing that you had talked about blocking. And that'd be good, especially if we're going to spring a Mike Davis in the secondary, or we get Javian Hawkins. I think that's a running back, Javian Hawkins. I think that's a running back that we signed. Get him because he's going to be doing a lot of stretch runs. So if we can get them to block, that'd be very valuable.
Well. That's what Julio did well for us. Julio was a deep threat, but a lot of times him and Matt Ryan could never get on the same page. So he wasn't that threat as far as our big plays is concerned. Julio Jones got those tough yards, those third down, those slants over the middle, those breaking the tackle and going 60 yards. Like that's what Julio did well for us. He was that physical receiver, but now we have physical tight ends. We got a Russell Gage who's physical in the slot. We got a Kyle Pitts who's physical, and we have Frank Darby and those guys. Like we got those guys. We have a Hayden Hurst. So are we really going to miss a Julio Jones? Because he's not one of those guys that I love Julio to death, but he's not a guy that's going to get us 6 points. Like Calvin Ridley came in his rookie year. The dude had 10 touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah, it was like 10 or something like that. Yeah.
In his rookie year, that's not what Julio does well. Julio is one of those guys that get physical, tough yards. That's what he is, and that's why you see him going off the field a lot of time because he's getting those hard, difficult yards for the Falcons. So as far as that, will we miss that part? I don't think we'll miss that part, but we will miss how special Julio can be when he's on. When Julio is on, he's damn near impossible to stop. That's what we will miss.
I just say it like this, like Julio, he's gonna be missed, but you don't have to worry about him.
Go ahead. They don't want you talking about Julio. Go ahead.
No. What I was basically going to say is, yes, that production there is going to be missed.
He did it again. It just ain't working for him.
Can't be great.
He can't. They won't let him be great at all. But I mean, before you get back, like I said, like Calvin had. I mean, even every year he's progressed. You know, he had 10 touchdowns. He went down to 7, but his yards went up, and his yards per catch went up. And then last year, I mean, he had 1374, 9 touchdowns. So it's like, you know, can he be a number one? I know, Mike. I know you was like you have to yet to see it, but he put up number one numbers last year.
No, number one, we talk about numbers. Anybody can be a numbers guy. Let me just be.
Yeah, but 1,300 though.
No, I'm about to tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Anybody can be a numbers guy. Anybody can put up those numbers. But when I'm talking about a number one guy, can he make that clutch play when we need him most?
Okay, I'm with you on that. I understand you on that.
Julio made that one of the most unbelievable catches when we needed him most. Julio made those tough catches. Can Calvin really make that catch? Because he dropped a lot of key touchdowns last year. Yeah, he had a lot of yards, but when we needed him most in a lot of games, especially that Tampa Bay game where he wide open in the end zone, he dropped it.
Yeah,
he needed to go up for a pass. He didn't even jump for it. Like, those are the things. That's what we're talking about, number one. So anybody can put up the numbers, but when we talk about those key plays and key moments, is he that guy? I'm not sure.
4th and 2 against the Eagles, what Julio did on the screenplay. That type of stuff. That type of stuff. I get you. That type of right. Corey Shaw says, nah, man, I can't downplay potential Hall of Fame. Nobody's downplaying it, but you got to understand it is what it is at this point. That's why I asked about the total everybody that are receivers on the team. Because you can't downplay that, but at the same time, you can't downplay it by asking about the entire group of receivers. That alone is telling that we're not downplaying it. Because if we're downplaying it, we'll be like, okay, who can replace him? We're talking about that whole group because of that one person. Got to read between the lines, man. It's not, it's not what you say is how it's not what you say is how you say it, and you got to look at it. I mean, we can't downplay when we talk about the entire offense, the entire receiver corps trying to pick up the pieces from one person leaving. There's no way that we are downplaying it in that sense.
Absolutely.
But no, I'm not a deep thinker. Like I said, ever since I went off on that one dude, StreamYard has not been acting right with me since. I don't know why, but it's just been like that. I got lucky yesterday, but today it ain't acting right for me. But yeah, like I said, we appreciate Julio. We appreciate Julio for what he done, but you have to remember he wasn't gonna be here forever anyway. It's just like with any other player, like Matt Ryan is not gonna be here forever. So, like, if you could get his production from 3 other receivers, that's just as effective. The only thing is now you have defenses ain't got a key on one guy.
There you go.
They don't have to key on one guy in the red zone.
And, some people say addition by subtraction. Sometimes it could be addition by addition, because now you got 3 guys who could probably pull the weight. What kind of defense is going to be? What defense that can cover all of that?
Right.
It makes it damn near impossible.
Right.
Well, it could be a gift and a curse to have a superstar like Julio Jones, man. Because like I said earlier before, a lot of people come in designed to take away one guy, and then they focus on that one guy. And, if you don't have an offense coordinator like Sean Payton, you can turn around and try to take away Mike Thomas all you want to. I'll just run the damn ball with Kamara. I'll just use him in the flats. I'll just use Taysom Hill. I'll just use the other guy. That's not what the Falcons did. All they wanted to do, and that's what made Kyle Shanahan a great play caller, because when he, outside of 2015, he didn't force the ball to Julio Jones in 16. He got the ball to this running back. He got the ball to the tight ends. He got it to his receivers, Muhammad Sanu, those types of guys. He just didn't give Julio Jones, attention.
Yeah, but
the taking one player away thing, that they're trying to use a basketball reference in football. That works in basketball. You can take one player away and change the dynamic of a team, but in football, it sounds like that could be the case in football. But you got to understand, you got 11, I'll say you have 10 other people on offense that can change the game, and in some cases, you got 21 other players. When you think about the defense, that can change the game. So you could take one player away, but like you were saying about the Saints, or hell, even with the Patriots have done a pretty good job of this. If you are able to, move the ball around with other players who can execute, it's going to be it's not going to be as easy, but it can be much easy. It can be much more accomplished outside of basketball, because basketball, if you take one player away, like you say, you can change the dynamic of a team.
Hold on, I want to hit a comment right quick. And I've seen this guy talking all night with Jeff Eastling. He was talking about no wonder we're laughed at as a fan base. But let me tell you why we're laughed as a fan base. Because even when we're winning, and I've been to these games where we're winning, you have more visitors in the stadium than you do people at home.
That's like a running meme in Atlanta, man, and I don't understand that we can never get the fans to come to the stadium.
Because, like I said, because you don't have the personalities and the type of people that's going to garner media attention. And then you also have to look at, you have people who talk shit about the own team, covering up, saying being realistic. Like I said, you can be realistic, but you still have to be.
You gotta win, man. You gotta win.
Like I said, you gotta
win. You gotta win.
You gotta win. But even like I said before, even when we was winning, people still wasn't showing up. That's what makes you a laughing stock. That's what makes you a laughing stock as a fan.
Because they can't get over Vic. They can't get over Vic. Get the fuck over him. He's not coming back. You ain't gonna see fast quarterbacks running like that, man.
Right.
These Hawks better be careful.
Yeah, they turn the ball.
These Hawks better be careful
right now.
Yeah, they better be careful.
But
no, I mean I think you're right about that with the Michael Vick thing. I think that's a really big problem because a few people, I ain't gonna say a few people, but you have people you have a handful of people that are always talking about Mike Vick this, Mike Vick that, and it's like we get it. I mean, he was electric, he was awesome. I mean, he did his thing, but I mean, think we got to an NFC Championship with him, and that was like and that was almost like, was it really him that did that? I mean, it could be questioned because the team itself was actually pretty good, but that's another story for another day. But it's like, you have to understand football evolves, and when you start, seeing these running quarterbacks get figured out, you will see what they're really made of, and then at that point, you will have a situation where, like you saw with the Eagles when he went back to the Eagles, or when you see like how Cam Newton is now. When you look at how Colin Kaepernick that one time when he ended up getting benched, these running quarterbacks are cool, but they get figured out. The Ravens are going to see that. And I'm not knocking Lamar Jackson, but if he don't get that arm right, you're going to see it within the next year or two. I mean, you kind of saw it in the playoffs. But you're going to see it.
Look, let me answer this. Our media, our players are pretty boring in the media. Man, have you heard damn Patrick Mahomes talk? Have you actually heard him talk?
Talking about Kermit the Frog?
Like,
Yay!
come on, bro. Come on, bro. I want Tom Brady. Tom Brady ain't damn. He ain't exciting to the media. He probably is bland as. Like, come on.
Y'all don't understand. Tom Brady just started trolling after he left the Patriots.
Yes, that's it.
Right.
That man
He just started trolling.
All players are bored. Yeah, come on, man. Y'all need to watch other teams. Stop paying attention to all players.
Exactly.
There's not many guys that are Deion Sanders.
Check that super chat, KSTYLZ.
Hey, we got that $5. $5 super chat from Joe Hughes. He said, "We know the reason why other teams have more fans at because half of Atlanta fans be out partying, barbecuing outside the stadium."
Well, I can't deny it. He ain't
deny it. Yeah, like 60% of the fans is outside.
Yeah,
selling tickets to the away team.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
that's what it is.
Hustle,
yeah, I did. That's what I said. They be selling their tickets to the away fans and be outside slapping on some barbecue. I mean, I ain't gonna knock your hustle and stuff like that, but when we start talking about the fan base in general, we can't complain about not really having a home field advantage if ain't nobody in there.
Mm-hmm.
You got about 20% of people in there doing this.
Yeah. Right.
So it actually becomes almost a home field advantage to certain teams that come in and play. Like you get the Steelers in here, shit, it'd be 85% Steeler fans in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Yep. If the Cleveland Browns come in here, it's gonna be 70% Cleveland Brown fans when they were losing. So
I do have a question. How do you think, obviously without just saying winning, because that winning cures everything, but how do you think we can change that as a fan base where we can actually get like a Atlanta United type fan base or fan atmosphere for a football game? How you think we can do that?
The media, hey, we do a shitty job of even promoting our best players anyway. Right. The media in Atlanta, all they care about is other teams. They praise other teams that they don't praise our players. The first thing that you turn on 92.9 the game, they're talking about trading Julio, they talk about trading Matt Ryan. It happens every freaking year. Think about Ronald Acuna. Even when Ronald Acuna is doing his thing, it's like, oh, how long are we going to keep Ronald Acuna? Like really? That's what y'all coming up with?
The man just signed a contract.
And he just signed it. That's like, how long are we going to keep this guy around? Like that type of stuff. So the media is not doing they're not doing any favors also. Like when the last time you seen a Falcons show here in Atlanta?
I live in South Carolina. I still listen to 92.9 the game while I'm at work or whatever on my phone, on my app, on the Odyssey app. So I listen to it just to pass the time. And you're right, man. I mean, not to shout out anybody names that's over there, but you got a lot of Debbie Downers and they're just contrarians to the fullest on that station. A lot of them for no reason. No reason. I will say one name. This is not a bad thing. God bless Mike Conti. I like his attitude that he brings to 92.9 the game, but there's some other ones.
Yeah, Mike Conti is a good one.
Yeah, Mike Conti is good, but the other one there's a couple other ones, but there's some people that are
especially Hugh. I love Hugh. He's a likable guy, but all he does is talk crazy.
Yeah.
All he does is talk crazy. Oh, that's all he do. Just go on his Twitter. Oh, you don't know, man, to me. I played the game. I know what I'm talking. Bro, you still be saying some dumb stuff.
What that got to do with you being on the Atlanta Falcons radio station talking bad about the Falcons? What that got to do?
That's it.
Like, what that got to do with it? Or when they do something, well, that's impressive. Bro, it's like,
yeah, we got
look. I don't even listen to it early in the morning. I just can't. Okay.
Yeah, early morning is something.
Yeah, we got a couple people talking about lower ticket prices and stuff like that. But the only issue is, in order for them to, like I said, They not go there because they got to keep up with that. They got to keep up with that stadium.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say because
that's a $1 billion stadium. That ain't that's not Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
You're really not going to start seeing lower ticket. You're not going to see them lowering ticket prices until they start seeing a return on that stadium, because they got to get back what they built. So it's going to be. I don't know how long it's going to be, but one thing you can say, you can applaud Atlanta United because they are actually helping with the cause, but you're not going to see it until they start getting. I ain't gonna say a full return, but enough where they can project a good return. That's when you're gonna start seeing ticket prices get lower.
Right. And somebody said he'll win the Super Bowl. I think even if they did win the Super Bowl, once if the Falcons would have won the Super Bowl and then went on an 0-3 run, they'll turn on this team real quick too. That's just how that's. And that, like I said, if you don't fit into this category, we're not talking about you, but we're just talking about the average Atlanta sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a $5 super chat here. If I can get to it, Matty Ghostin brought another one. He said, "I'm more optimistic this year than I was last year. We have the coaches and enough bodies on the offensive line to make it interesting. I can't wait to see Jalen Mayfield and see what he can do, bro.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that. I want to see if he can bring that nasty boy attitude."
No, Capella just did him a tumble. Capella just did him a tumble. I thought that was pretty dope. Yeah, he did him a tumble. I thought that was pretty dope.
My thing, dog. You can't steal my thing like that, Clint. That no. No.
Exactly.
Well, no, I mean, like you said, like you got guys who are like the physical, athletic guys. Like Jalen Mayfield is. I mean, he's a huge guy, but he's physical. We talked about even Davison. He didn't get drafted by the team, but he's a big dude. He just wasn't utilized. So you want to, and that's one thing. Like I said about Deion Jones. I mean, he's not a big player, but he can do everything. So it's going to be really interesting to see the moving parts, even with the run game with Mayfield and the other guys. So it's going to be really interesting.
Exactly. I think we got too carried away. I think the Falcons just got too carried away with the stardom of Julio Jones. He came in on fire, lit it up, and they just got happy. They saw dollar signs and they tried to maximize that. Like that's what they get, and they built the team around him and Matt. And from that point on, it's like we lost ourselves, we lost our identity. All we saw was let's, get more stats and more yards with Matt Ryan and Julio. And like I said, they lost. They pretty much abandoned the defense, didn't want to do anything for the defense, all because they just built the team around Matt and Julio. And that's just like that's what it was. We had 1 year, and that year it was pretty much it.
I ain't gonna say they got lucky on it, but they struck gold with that year, because if the Super Bowl if we get a W on the Super Bowl, none of this would have really been talked about on as far as that particular season, because it seemed like it was set up to be built around them too. But now, once again, the NFL has evolved. You just cannot have those type of play. You look at these other teams that are actually winning and progressing, like Tom Brady even had to do it when he went down to Tampa. The team is not just necessarily about him. Even when he was in New England, you had a lot of factors that played into a complete team. So I think, with these new guys are in now with Pease and Arthur Smith and everybody else under that umbrella, you're starting to see what they're trying to do, and what they're trying to do is that type of the format of building the team.
Oh yeah, because I'm actually looking at something right now as I was speaking about Tom Brady and those teams in New England. If you actually look at a lot of the statistical categories on those teams, you realize the years that early on that they won the Super Bowl, he never had a 1,000-yard receiver.
In a year that they did, in a year that he had a big receiver, they lost to the Giants.
Right. So as long as you have that collection of talent that you cannot focus on, like if you have a system where you can spread the ball around, you can space the field in zones and stuff like that. Like I said, 1,300-yard receivers is good, but like I said, having a collection of guys that can be, you got 500 here, 600 here, 800 here, 800 here, 400 here. It's just as good as having 2 1,000-yard receivers.
And in some cases, it could be more deadlier.
Because you cannot focus on one guy. You cannot game plan and say, "Oh, we have to stop this guy."
That's what made the Rams so dangerous, because they had Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce with Marshall Faulk, and they had a tight end. I forget the tight end, but they had 4 guys that you couldn't key on those guys.
Bro, you ain't even talk about Isaac Keem and Ricky Prohl.
Isaac Keem, that's it. Isaac Keem.
Isaac here,
they had like 5 guys you couldn't key on them. So that's what made them so dangerous. You couldn't key on them.
Right. Because I remember they were doing an interview with Kurt Warner, and Kurt Warner was talking about it. It was like, yeah, y'all talked about Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce. You talk about Marshall Faulk, but y'all forgot about Isaac Keem. You talk about Ricky Prohl. I mean, those guys, I think that year both of them had like at least 600 or 700 yards apiece.
Yep.
Right.
You know?
Right. And then
greatest show on turf.
And then you also have to look at the aspect of those teams as well. They use the running backs effectively in the passing game.
Man, it's criminal. How could you not use a guy like Marshall Faulk in the run and passing game?
Right.
Like that's saying even with last year, how dare you not use Todd Gurley in the passing game? And that's what he does well too.
That dude had like 20 less than, like he had like 20 catches in the whole season, bro. Come on, man. Let's be serious. Todd Gurley is much. That dude is a better player than what he like they were using him last year.
That's goddamn Farmer Friend, stupid ass.
Thank you, Dirk Cutter. Not. I ain't got nothing else, man.
This dude, Todd Gurley, had 25 receptions for 164 yards as a Falcon last year.
And most of them were check downs. Standing in front of the center, and that's it.
Yeah, you know, you could possibly easily, with a guy like Todd Gurley, could have had 40 or 50.
Right.
You know. I don't know.
Right. But that's what you're talking about. Like I said, you have to have a sense of balance. You have to have a sense of creativity. That's what we talk about, and that's what we are looking for in this Arthur Smith system. Yes, we don't have a Derrick Henry. I know that's the main thing everybody said. We don't have a Derrick Henry. You don't need a Derrick Henry. You need a collection of guys that can give you Derrick Henry's production.
I mean, DVD should be a perfect example of that. We didn't have a lead back. We had 2 good running backs, and Duckett and Dunn. They did their thing.
And they were used properly, too. I will give them credit. They used them properly. Duckett and Dunn was used properly. You didn't try to run Dunn up the middle or nothing crazy like that. Or you didn't try to do a sweep with Duckett.
Right.
You know, they used them properly, you know?
Right. But like I said, that's what happens when you have a competent scheme, a competent offensive philosophy, and a competent coach that can use that and knows what these guys' strengths and weaknesses are. We know Javon Hawkins is not finna be running no dives. That's not gonna be his game. He'll be willing to do that, but they're gonna run him off tackle. You got Cordero.
Use the players at their strengths.
Cordero Patterson, he's gonna be your X factor guy. He gonna line up in the back. He might line up outside. You can run jet sweeps with him. That's his role. Quadri Olesen, he's kind of the balance of the two. Like I said, he's big, but he has some type of breakaway speed. That's your off tackle. That's your dive guy. And Mike Davis is your power guy.
Yep.
And hopefully Keith Smith won't be running hook routes, even though I've seen a couple clips of him going out on routes, but they were swing passes, so I can deal with that.
Man, can everybody in the chat right now? There's about 100 people in here. Somebody please, everybody right now, use a hug emoji, because your boy Easton in here, boy. That dude angry than I am. Like, what
he wilding, eh?
God damn, boy, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, you wildin', you wildin'. It's okay though.
Bro. That man ain't happy about nothing, bro.
Like
it'd be all right. It's cool. We love you in the chat. Just keep doing what you do.
Exactly. I mean, we like I said, we understand people have kind of been hurt with the Falcons' disappointments over the years and stuff like that. Now, don't think you're the only one that don't feel that. We all feel that. But at the end of the day, we can talk our shit about how poorly Falcons done in certain games, but I'm not finna just poo-poo the whole season because of last season, because we have to remember this league is a parity league. Like I said, the worst team can become the best team. We seen it last year. Only thing they did was added a quarterback.
Yeah, that's one thing about the NFL. That's one thing about the NFL. A 3-13 team or a 4-12 team could turn right back around and win 13, 14 games.
Right, right.
So, especially what we have with a new coach and a new system and a new GM, we have so much potential to flip this around. Like I said, if anybody think we're going to be another 4-12 team, or what is it, 4-13 team, if you think that's the case, then you're really not watching what's going on. Just not.
Nah, because the reality is the narrative is secretly they want them to do bad.
Right.
Because if you keep putting that energy out there like that, you're basically telling people you hope they do bad. That's why we say, do not put that energy out there.
Wait a minute. Didn't we just see the Hawks turn their season around? What were they last year?
Shit, they were like 20 and fucking 50 something.
Yeah, they were like 20 and 53 or something like that. They won 41 games this year.
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
You know? Just like that. So, I mean, and I don't want to use a basketball reference, but I mean, it happens. King 55 just said the Rams went 4-12 and went to 11-5.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. When Matt Ryan got drafted, what was the team was before then? I don't know what they were, but I know they had the number 3 overall pick and pick Matt Ryan and went 11-5 the next year. You know, so it just happened. You know, 11-5 as a rookie the year before, and you know they had the number 3 overall pick. So in 1 year things can change. So
they went 4-12 that year before, and what was that 11-5 that season?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Anything can happen. Like I said, you don't want it. Like I said, I'm not gonna put that energy out there.
No, not at all. Not when what you see what's in front. Yeah, you want to talk about Julio and this, that, and the third, but what you see what's in front, you see what the coach is doing, you see what they're doing at OTAs, you see the demeanor of Arthur Smith. He demands your production. You see that. You see these players, these rookies coming in. You see everybody coming through that actually putting in the work at OTAs. You mean to tell me after all of this here alone, and I ain't seen them play a preseason game yet. This alone gives me 6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I'm just being, you know, real modest. 6 wins just because of the energy that these guys are putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know.
Yo, you never heard of whatever you put out there, you shall receive?
Absolutely.
It's like an ATM. You put that money in there, what you think you're going to get back out?
Exactly.
You can't put $20 in ATM, leave a couple days and think you're going to get 40. No, it don't work like that. You get that same 20 you put in that bank. So, and then sometimes you mess up and don't do the right thing. You might get an overdraft and get nothing back.
Right. See, now, because the thing is, if you use the words like, okay, you're disappointed in the season and how it goes, see, now you're putting the energy of optimism, but that's being realistic, being disappointed. But when you're hoping they're going 4-13, or you saying, oh, we're going to go 5-12 this year, we're going to go 4-13. See, now you're putting the energy in the air. So now, even when they win, your energy is still off because it's like it doesn't sit right with you.
It's even worse when they lose one game.
To the game.
Right.
They bring that same energy to the game where they don't stand up and cheer, and then anything start going wrong, they start signing and leaving.
3 and out. They talking about, I told you they're gonna go 1-16. Wait, is this just a 3 and out? I mean, He's like, oh, he got a touchback on the kickoff. They ain't going nowhere. What? Slow down. You know, like, but I'm dead serious. You got people who think like that. They get a 3 and out, or if they get 3 points on a field goal after having a pretty decent drive. Oh man, that's 6 and 10 written all over it. Wait a minute, it's just a drive. Mm-hmm. But that's how they do, man. I ain't got nothing else. If y'all got anything else, man. That's
it, man. We're gonna close it. Hold on. KSTYLZ freeze again. Come on, bro.
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling.
Oh, okay.
I'm in there. I'm worried about my nephew. He done came in here. I don't know what the hell he about to do.
Oh, okay. He made an appearance himself.
You know, he get a little antsy stuff. But
oh yeah, I know. Hey, but any last word for anybody?
Oh, I'll go in first with this one. Like I said, congratulations, Hawks, on the win tonight. Like I said, that's a good way to come back. Like I said, Trey Young is embracing this villain role, because you already know Trey Young is the most hated guy in the league right now for some reason. I don't.
For whatever
reason, but I like that he's embracing the villain role. He's basically just saying, fuck all y'all. But
pretty much.
That's basically what I'm seeing. But I'm going to say it like this. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Everybody kicking in with us. Like I said, you also make sure you go, if you ain't follow Just KSTYLZ, you got AFN here. Like I said, we got the feeling. We appreciate VF Balling here chilling with us tonight. But if y'all ain't seen Judge Joe Brown,
boy.
Oh my goodness. What in the Judge Joe Brown and Kwame Brown? Y'all need to go check that out, because boy, he done talked about everybody. And when I say everybody, he even went to the White House on y'all asses.
I never look at Judge Joe Brown the same again, boy. I thought he was just a regular judge, but that dude is savage, man.
Boy, that boy Joe. Boy, you could tell Joe Brown used to pimp them hoes back then, boy, the way he talked.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
And I didn't know he talked like that. I was like,
man, you seen the shows?
Oh, I see the shows, but you ain't seen that.
I'm gonna use one quote he said on here. He said the bros before hoes. I'm gonna give them a little preview if they haven't seen it. He said one thing on there that made me laugh. He said he said two things. I'm gonna use two things. He said all these thugs and gangbangers ain't nothing but lesbians with things. I said, what? That's the first thing I could say. And the other thing he said was the bros before hoes code was made by a bunch of guys that ain't getting none.
Y'all just go watch it, man. Y'all
need to go watch it, man. Y'all watch it. Cause a lot of people that voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, he done exposed that shit
man.
too.
He ain't playing like he
didn't play no game. He ain't playing no games on none of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
man,
but that's all I'm gonna tell you on that. But like I said, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Once again, appreciate VF Baller over here for chilling with us. Everybody in the chat. I know we didn't really get to a lot of people's comments here, but like I said, I see y'all. But we definitely gonna get that better, especially for me. I need to figure out what the hell going on with this stream, y'all, because for some reason my thing don't act right. I don't know why.
Showing you no love, bro.
They showed me no. I told you I cussed that one dude out. I cussed that one dude out, man. My stream ain't been right since. I don't know. I don't know if he knows people that don't like us. I wonder who sent him. That's the only thing I say. Who sent him?
Hey man, you got a cousin that work for your internet provider.
Exactly. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, I was about to say, y'all know y'all remember Saints Row 3. What was that damn game that used to hack in the computer? I was about to say, this one of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, but that's all I gotta say on that, man.
Mike, you want to go? Or you gonna let me go?
Oh, you.
Hey man, hey, I appreciate it, man. This has been a great show. Good talk, good insight, a lot of information that been put out there, a lot of things that made sense. You know, everybody ain't just not talking as like we just fanatics. We actually got some, you know, some real logic that's going on. So I love to hear that. Thank you guys for adding me as an affiliate. I'm going to just continue to push the content. If you guys want to check it out, I know the link is in the chat. Go check it out, or just type in First and Frame Rates. My channel will pop right on up, and I'll be putting more Falcons content up. And you guys check me out. Come here, boy.
Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
Come here.
Yeah, you gonna say hello to everybody?
What's up, little man? I seen him over there with he was working on that Trey Young shop back there. I saw him back there.
Man, listen, if you look, hey, if you check my Twitter out, because we was in Kennesaw last weekend. You check my Twitter out, you can see him shooting a ball on a 10-foot right, making a shot at 2 years old. The light is on, son.
Lights out. Lights out.
Oh man, y'all better be glad baby girl sleep right now, because she'd be just the same way.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. Still go to hell in NBA because having 13 damn free throws in the first damn quarter, and the Hawks barely had what? I think they had 3. So like it's still the obvious bias. They really don't want to get behind the Hawks. Trae, for whatever reason, is a villain, and I still don't understand that. I mean, they doing stupid stuff like he losing his hair. Like, bro, he's like, what that got to do with any damn thing? Like, LeBron been going bald for the last 10 years, 15 years. This man
LeBron been going bald since 14.
No. He had a hairline. His hairline disappeared after year 4. once he started wearing that headband, that hairline was gone. And yes, I could talk because after that Falcon season last season, my shit started going back because of my frustration. So I can say that.
Hey, headband look like my headset. His headband been this high on his head. He's going so bald.
Hey, man.
That boy need to cut up 3 socks to make that headband.
Hey man, but it all goes down to it, man. The Hawks doing their thing. Trae is the villain. I'm loving it, but I'm gonna need your boy John Collins to get some vitamins. He need to hit up Michael Jordan. He need to do some goddamn seances. So he can talk to Kobe Bryant or something. Like, I need him to do something. Whatever he needs to do, he need to do it, because we can't have this motherfucker out here getting no points in the game. And I don't know how many points he had in this game, but like, let me look at the stats. Hopefully he had a better game, but it's like, he got to do better than this. If the Hawks are going to do anything in the future, we can't have this dude. We can't have this dude up here having no points in the game. Like, come on. Like, you're a first-round pick, and you tell me you couldn't get a single damn point in a playoff game? That right there tell me you got no heart, and you're not worth $100 million. You're not even worth $80 million if you ask me. You shouldn't be not scoring. And tonight, he had 14 points. I'll take it. I'll take that. But he need to do better. If the Hawks are going to make it to the second round or past that, John Collins is going to have to step up, because we can't rely on a rookie to do what he's supposed to be doing. So John Collins got to play better. Love what the Hawks doing. Trae is damn near unstoppable right now. Nobody knows how to defend him, because he's a true point guard at this moment, and he's scoring. So I feel bad for the league.
Jeez. 21 points, 14 assists. Wow.
Come on, bud. Come on. That dude is an animal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say about that. Hawks. Hey, man, they doing their thing right now. Good coaching. Despite what a lot of people think, that was a good move for him not to sit up here and try to overuse these guys. Just because they're 22 don't mean you got to play all 40 minutes. Just because that's what the Knicks are doing with an old Derrick Rose doesn't mean that we have to do the same thing. This is a series. It's a marathon. This is not a damn. This is not the NCAA where you got to play one and done. That's not how you do it.
Right.
So that's all.
I'm gonna go on. It's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go put baby to bed. And I really appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, man, y'all check out the channel. I'll be around putting in work for these guys and for the team and for Atlanta Falcon Nation, man. Love y'all, man. Y'all be easy.
Yeah,
all right, brother.
All right, y'all. Y'all be good.
All right, man. They got Derrick Rose. Goddamn, he is their offense right now.
Yeah, that man about old as a mud. But like I said, man, with that being said, we're gonna kick it out. We're gonna end this thing. Hey man, good win tonight. Fuck Julio. If you know his ass don't want to be here, kiss my ass. All right.
Is it? Wait. Damn, you ain't gonna do it the right way.
Hell no. That's how I want to end it. If you want to be here, you can kiss my ass.
What's that? Raindrop, drop top, in the hot box. Let me know your bitch. She a thought. That's what he been playing the whole off season.
Hey, that's what. Hey man, look, I'm just being real, man. You don't want to be here, man. Don't try to fake it. Just go. Period.
Exactly.
Like I said, I appreciate what he did as a player, but if you don't want to be here, then I don't want to pretend like you like I still got love for you. I only got love for people that want to be here and they really love the fans. He took himself away from the fans and he wanted to hang out with the Migos. So from now on, you go take your ass to the Jets and you hang out with the Migos and you'll see what you're going to get from now on. If he wins, he wins, but it is what it is. Bye. And that's all we got to say about that. If you ain't, damn, what the hell is saying?
You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here. Hey, man, my brain been scrambled all day, bro.
That way.
Peace.